Oh, absolutely. I don't like the first banner that Vivi's USB appears on, but I like the second banner. Because it also appears with Kuja's excellent USB. You missed, you forgot Titus. Pain's not that bad. USB isn't that bad. We're just used to thinking of Pain as bad. Like a lot of other Final Fantasy X characters, apparently. I would even say that Pain's USB is good. But we'll get to that when we get to that. She's the last character on the list. Edge. Edge is definitely judged by his Chaotic Moon, his USB. 7.1, Water Lightning grants Chaotic Moon. What does Chaotic Moon do? Grants high quick cast 1 after using water attack. And casts Lurking Shadow after using a ninja ability if the user has any physical blank. We did take a look at this recently on another list. One or 2 single attacks at 2.16 each if the user has physical blank 0, 1, or 2. It's really good considering the 5-star ninja abilities that we have available for water, since one of them automatically gives you physical blank, and this chase occurs after you get that physical blank. So, at the very least, you will be chasing with the 2.16 if you use that ability. It stinks that that ability, I believe, gets buffed to 2 hits. But if you're able to keep those stacks of physical blank, then you can go real crazy and use the other 5-star ninja ability. I'll just go look at them. Which, after the buff, I'm going to take a look at the Earth ones now because it's actually the buffed version of the ninja ability is shown here in the statistics. Is 3, 5, or 7 single attacks at 0.7 each. Yeah, that's a really high multiplier. If the user has physical blank 0, 1, or 2. So what you'll be doing is using the first ability. You'll see each of them gets the same version, and then use the second once you have your stacks of physical blank. Enjoying the fruits of his chase all the while. It's really powerful. And if you have the 2 stacks of physical blank available, not only does he do, 7 attacks, seven attacks, of 0.7 each. It's just, what? He also gets the ×2 chase as well. It's kind of messed up, but these ninjas hit so ridiculously hard with these abilities and these chases. As long as they have the stacks of physical blank, which is easier to do than you think, especially for someone like Edge if you have his LMR. It's like Soul Break level at ninja cast speed. Faster, because Chaotic Moon gives you high quick cast 1 after using a water attack, so you're essentially casting almost instantly. That's 0.2 cast speed. It's gross. It's gross. It's just insane amounts of damage, and he can double cast with his Legend Dive. So he dual casts at a 35% clip, which it does count for those blinking abilities. So if he does dual cast the use of the ability that gives him physical blink, he can just dual cast in a single turn up to 2 stacks of physical blink, and then you can go right into using the other ability right away if you don't get hit within 1.6 seconds. 1.5. He's pretty quick. The abilities do cast at ninja speed, yes. And yeah, it's already 7 hits as well. They're gross. They're gross. And if you do have Edge's LMR, it's a 25% chance to grant physical blink 1 to the user after using a ninja ability. So you have a 35% chance of generating 2 blink stacks, or you have a 25% chance of generating a blink stack instead. Yeah. So Edge will most likely have 2 stacks of physical blink after using the setup ability once. Bart's. We're removing Cloud from these lists. The Euphinator. Has a lot of soul breaks. It's a fan favorite. And it shows. I'm just going to go right into her USB. Clear as Tranquil is an instant cast water. It does attack and defense minus 50%, restores all HP to all allies for 40% of their maximum HP. No, that is not the USB we're going to go into here. We're actually going to go to her USB 2. Because that USB is fine. It's instant water damage. And the HP Restore is cool utility that you could probably make some use of. But really, it's what Yuffie gets in the future. As you can see, 4 soul breaks that she has not got yet. It's kind of crazy. But her USB 2 is Water Non-Elemental that does 10 single range attacks, grants Attach Water, Physical Blink 1, and Water Blade follow-up to the user. Water Blade follow-up casts Water Blade Barrage after using a water attack. Water Blade follow-up. This is just as we saw with Kelger. 4, 6, or 8 single range attacks if the user has Physical Blink 0, 1, or 2. What's really nice about this in comparison to Kelger's is that Yuffie gets End Water. She gets Attach Water on the cast of her USB, while Kelger doesn't. Kelger gets a 30% damage boost as long as your abilities are honed. So Yuffie gets more damage out of that. And another thing that Yuffie has going for her is that she also has 30% dual casting that Kelger doesn't have. And they're the 2 closest buddies. You can see that Lupine follow-up up here. It's the exact same thing. But Yuffie is a much better character than Kelger is. Kelger's good. He was good for A. But Yuffie is a hell of a lot better. And this is just her USB. That's right, just her USB, because it gets, I wouldn't say better, but more extended in her capability. Because she has a UOSB. Instead of getting an OSB, like every other UOSB in the game was given to someone with an OSB already, Yuffie just skips that and goes right into a UOSB. Which is 20 single range attacks followed by a single range attack that breaks the damage cap, just like Lightning's. So Yuffie has the ultimate finisher. It's not even just a finisher, because this is a huge chain builder. If you've got Titus in the party, 20 single range attacks, so 21 total onto the chain. And in the final one that gets benefit from the 20% that you've built before it, this is the chain UOSB. That is just sickeningly good. And we have another soul break to take a look at, and that is her flash tech, which is a flash tech that we haven't seen yet. up until this point, we've seen all flash techs give an element and stacking an element, right? Well, Yuffie's flash tech is physical blink 2, physical blink stacking 2, and Yuffie's ninja rank boost. And like other flash techs, Yuffie's this flash tech only takes half of a soul break. So it's pretty easy to use, and we're gonna find out what Yuffie's ninja rank boost gives. It is just like Helger's. So not only does Yuffie beat Kelger with her and water status that Kelger doesn't get, but Yuffie also can flash tech and get 30% increased ninja abilities as well for half a soul break bar. Also, in the meantime, generating 2 stacks of physical blink. And it gives her the status. It's what I think is an important status. Physical blink stacking 2, I believe, is different. No, it's not. It's the same as reflecting pool, physical blink stacking 2. So it allows her to stack her blinks up to 2. So you don't necessarily have to use these abilities with Yuffie, but if you're getting if you're like entrusting her or something, because she can use her flash tech instead to stack her blink up, which you probably would want to use once because that 30% boost is nice, is excellent. Just, she is the ultimate ninja, and just... Oh yeah, and her BSB too. She's got a BSB too. It's an instacast in Peril Water. Is 2 single ranged at 1.5 that grants physical blink better than... See, I don't think I'd use this. I wouldn't use this on Yuffie if I had other things I could use with her. Anyway, this is... We're going to have so many S tiers on the physical water banner that we're going to need to divide the S tier. Because we're just going to add another one next. Titus is the holder of the water chain. Yuffie's Legend Dive is 35% chance to dual cast ninja abilities, and the same thing as Edge. Though, if we go into the Legend Spheres, we do see a difference. I think. Yuffie gets ninja damage 9%, and Edge gets katana damage 9%. Yeah. I'll take Yuffie's. It's fine. It's hard to find a good katana for Edge to use. Anyway, Titus. So we're going to look at Titus's chain first. You've seen this one before. 11 attacks, inflicts the chain, and quick cast 2 to all allies. That's insane by itself. Then we're going to take a look at his USB, which is 10 single ranged attacks, grants attached water, X Ace, and instant cast 1 to the user. What X Ace does is it chases water attacks with a 6-hit chase. It's not as powerful as most chases, but only by a very, very tiny amount. Yuffie can also use fists, yes. So this is a great chase for building a chain, but it's also fine by itself. These two relics, probably the chain is enough, but these two relics together are absolutely enough for S tier. And then we get Sonic Strike, which is his BSB2, which is Instacast, which is really nice. 10 single range attacks, attack defense plus 30% to the user, and grants haste and Instacast 1. So what we're seeing here is somebody that really, really benefits from getting entrusted because of all these instant cast BSB, instant cast 1 granted by both his USB and his BSB. So he doesn't face a penalty that most other people do for using soul breaks. And then add in these 3 soul breaks, well, and the fact that he has an OSB, which is great, to his Legend Dive. Which is a 35% chance of dual cast abilities to deal water damage. His water damage ability of choice is Sapphire Shot, sharpshooter ability. Everything about Tidus is good. Except for Tidus himself. I know I haven't been looking at these, because they're usually pretty relevant. When does it end? When does the S tier end? Is it you, Waka? Are you going to be S tier too? So Waka's water damage is contributed by his USB, which he can Wrath out. He's just a worse version of Fran. He Wraths out in his Imperil, but where Fran gives Quick Cast 2 to the entire party, which is yay, Waka gives a Pentabreak, which is fine. It's good. It's just not as good as Fran. Not even close. But it's a good USB, and it comes on a plus water 6-star Blitzball, which is nice too. Also, Tidus's USB does as well. So, it's gonna be another magical wind. Kamari, what do you got? I think Kamari's got a USB, doesn't he? He does. Proud Ronso's Soul. It's an all-ally buff of attack, magic, and resistance and grants Water Radiant Shield 75%. Reminds me of Rex. So he buffs the party, doesn't give him haste though, and grants the Radiant Shield of his element. It's kind of basic, but it's good. What does Kamari do from there, though? Is he a sharpshooter? Because he needs, you know, Rex can use Thundering Quad Strike, right? What does Kamari do? Dragoon, no water there. No water here, no water there. Ooh, he can use water. 3-star Black Mage ability. Ouch. So we're placing him at C for this reason. Right, his water DPS is his BSB. So what would he do if he's got... Right, he life siphons. What would he do if all he's got, you know, If you cast his USB, what does he go from? Where does he go from there? He uses Life Siphon and uses his BSB. In other words, yeah, he sucks. Usable, but that would be mostly for his BSB. He does not have a Legend Dive. Ooh. Waka has a percentage chance of minor imperil water to target after using a sharpshooter ability on an enemy. Kamari does have a Legend Dive. Whoa, sorry. Let's get into that time of night. Percentage chance to counter BLK attacks. One of these. Yeah, I think the issue with Kamari's USB is there's no reason to spam it, so it requires having his BSB for him to be even, usable. Otherwise, he just sits there. I don't think Waka goes to B with that Legend Dive. I didn't mind the Radiant Shields on characters that did have the chains. Who was that? Ingus? Snow. Ingus is Snow. But it's just, such a pain in the ass to use Kamari. Riku, Physical Water. I kind of forgot about Riku. I thought she was a fan favorite. So Riku's USB has nothing to do with water. So that's a thing. So what does she do that's watery? Well, Sharpshooter, she can Sapphire Shot after using her USB, but she can do that for a lot of elements. So it's her BSB. She causes Imperil Water for 25 seconds and has some really bad commands. Riku is actually just awful at being a water damage dealer or being a water team member. Pain. If you guys want to see Riku's Legend Dive, it's not good. Increases the duration of stat buffs. Like, she's meant to be a support buffer. And we did rate her in the support buffing category. But celerity abilities deal 15% more damage. That's great. Yeah. 35% chance to grant quick cast 1 to the user after using a machinist ability. These LMRs are fine, but it's not like it changes much about her. We kind of gave up on, like, putting Cloud everywhere he has a friggin' Spellblade to use. We'll talk about Cloud later, and we'll talk about the ninjas later as well. Yeah, they're special. So Pain. Another one of those laughingstock characters, but gets a USB and becomes not that bad at all. Attack and defense plus 30%. Grants attach water and Spellblade quick casts. So, she doesn't start with quick casts, which is weird. I mean, other people start with quick casts. Why doesn't she? So it's slightly less good than other versions of the same Soul Break, but it's probably not enough to tier switch her. So she attached waters and then uses the engulfing quad strike. Her BSB is junk, and we'll take a look at her legend materia. 35% chance to dual cast Spellblade abilities. It's good. Spellblade abilities deal 15% more damage. It's good. It's a good dive. Pretty good USB. And that's it. That's how simple she is. She goes an A. Yeah, that's true. It'll simplify the lists. I can do that now. I think Bart's belongs on the list because he has soul breaks that actually deal that elemental damage. And he has bursts that specifically deal that elemental damage. But Vivi is just, yeah, I'm just using my USB and then using black magic. All y'all can just deal with it. Oh no, Vivi stays on magical fire. Riku is a friggin' footnote in fire and in water. Her BSB used to be so awesome. Because it was like the only Imperial water. And then as soon as we got wind of another Imperial water coming out, it's like, well, Riku's BSB is kind of shit, isn't it? It is. Yeah, but that's okay. Like, as far as, like, rating the character, if you're going to be rated by anything, it should be your modern era Soul Break, which is her USB. Fuck. Skillet, take the cap for my water. Skillet's so mischievous. Oh, pulling on her banner.